Imagine the moments in your life when you felt completely misunderstood, when people doubted your intentions, and when your heart was heavy because of false assumptions about you. It hurts deeply. But what if I told you that those moments are actually the very evidence that you are being prepared for something greater? What if I told you that the pain you feel today is setting the stage for your tomorrow? That is the reason you must stay until the very end of this message, because you might be closer to your elevation than you think. One of the most liberating truths you will ever realize is that your worth, your success, and your honor are not tied to the opinions of people. Too many times we live our lives as though our future depends on the approval of those around us. Our friends, family, colleagues, and even strangers. We crave recognition, validation, and praise. And when we do not receive them, we feel invisible, unappreciated, or even worthless. But the truth is, no human being has the power to decide your ultimate rank or position in life. That power belongs solely to the one who created you. When you understand this, you begin to walk differently. You stop begging people to see your value and start focusing on the one who already knows it. If the Almighty has decreed elevation for you, no force on earth can stop it. People can gossip, they can try to damage your reputation, they can even actively work to block your opportunities. But if something has been written for you, it will find you. You cannot miss what has been destined for you. And no one can take away what has been placed in your path. This is why we often see stories where someone is constantly underestimated, overlooked, or even sabotaged, and yet somehow they rise. Think about it. There are times when you may have been excluded from a project, denied a promotion, or pushed aside in favor of someone else. At the time, it felt like a loss, like you had been rejected or forgotten. But later, you saw doors opening that you never even imagined existed. Those who tried to hold you back were powerless to stop what was written for you. This realization gives you peace. It frees you from the exhausting pursuit of pleasing everyone. You no longer have to prove yourself to those who cannot see your potential. Instead, you put your effort into being the best version of yourself, into doing what is right, and into aligning your heart with sincerity. Because when you do that, you are not working for temporary applause. You are working for lasting recognition, the kind that no one can erase. But this elevation is not random. It is not given simply because you want it. It is granted when you are ready for it. And that readiness often comes through difficulty. Life will test you, sometimes in ways that feel unbearable. You might feel as if you are constantly being overlooked or humiliated. You might face betrayal, unfair criticism, and opposition from those you least expect. These are not punishments, they are preparations. They are shaping you, softening you, humbling you, and strengthening you all at once. Because if you were to be elevated without this process, without this growth, it might destroy you. Without humility, success can breed arrogance. Without patience, recognition can inflate the ego. And without gratitude, blessings can make you forget where they came from. The delays, the heartbreaks, the closed doors, they are all part of a careful process that ensures that when you do rise, you rise with grace, wisdom, and balance. And when that elevation finally comes, you will notice something remarkable. It often happens at a time when you are no longer desperate for it. When you stop chasing validation from others, when you stop living for the applause, that is when the recognition comes. And it comes in a way that even your critics cannot deny. The same people who once underestimated you will be forced to acknowledge what you have become. The ones who once dismissed you will watch as you are honored, promoted, or celebrated. This is not about seeking revenge or gloating over your haters. It is about understanding that your story was never in their hands. It was always in higher hands, and that means it was always safe. When you rise, it will not be because of favoritism or luck. It will be because you were chosen for that moment. And that is why you must never compromise your principles just to please people or to speed up the process. When you try to force elevation by manipulating, lying, or stepping on others, you might get a temporary boost, but it will never last. True elevation is sustainable because it comes with the strength to carry it. So keep going even when no one notices. Keep doing good even when no one appreciates it. Keep working on yourself even when no one claps for you. Every effort is seen, every struggle is counted, and every sacrifice is recorded. When your time comes, you will not have to fight for a seat at the table. You will be invited to it. And you will sit there knowing that you were placed there not by human approval, but by a higher decree. Your haters are not the ones who hold your future in their hands. They may speak loudly, they may try to pull you down, and they may even work tirelessly to see you fail, but at the end of the day, their power over you is an illusion. They are not the decision makers of your destiny. They are simply witnesses, and their role is to watch as the plan for your life unfolds. This is why it is so important not to waste your energy fighting battles that are not worth your time. You do not need to respond to every insult, correct every lie, or seek revenge for every betrayal. The moment you start doing that, You let them control your peace of mind. Instead, let them talk, let them plot, let them laugh, while you continue to move forward quietly and consistently. Many times the presence of haters in your life is not a punishment, but a test. They are placed in your path to teach you endurance, to strengthen your patience, and to refine your character. Without them, you might never discover how much resilience you actually have. Think about the moments when you felt completely surrounded by negativity, when people doubted you, spread rumors, or tried to shut you out. You had two choices: break down or rise stronger. And every time you chose to remain calm, to focus on your growth rather than your anger, you passed a test. You showed that you are not defined by their words or limited by their small vision of who you are. There is something deeply powerful about letting your actions speak for you. When you choose silence over retaliation, your dignity increases. When you choose to work hard instead of wasting time arguing, your results eventually silence the noise. You don't have to prove them wrong by shouting louder. You prove them wrong by becoming undeniable. That is why the best revenge is not revenge at all. It is elevation. The day will come when the very people who mocked you will watch as you succeed in ways they never expected. They will see doors opening for you that they tried to shut. They will witness your name being mentioned in rooms they never wanted you to enter. And when that happens, they will have no choice but to acknowledge it, even if they never admit it out loud. This is why it is so important to stay focused. Your haters want to distract you. They want you to lose your cool, to abandon your values, to act out of anger so they can point at you and say, "See, I was right about them." Don't give them that satisfaction. Your calmness frustrates them more than your words ever could. Your growth is the loudest response you can give. Every milestone you achieve, every obstacle you overcome, every moment you rise after being pushed down, it all becomes a testimony that no one but the Almighty can control your story. Sometimes you will notice that your haters seem to know everything you are doing. They watch your moves, they analyze your steps, and they seem obsessed with your progress. Take that as a sign that you are worth watching. People don't invest energy in tearing down what they don't see as a threat. The fact that they are paying attention means that you are doing something right. But don't let that attention distract you. Don't start living for their reaction. Live for your purpose. Live for the one who sees everything. Live for the day when your elevation becomes a reality. When that moment of elevation finally comes, it will not be hidden. It will not be a small, quiet event that no one notices. It will be public enough that even those who doubted you, those who mocked you, those who wished for your failure will have to watch. That is the beauty of divine justice. It allows your enemies to see with their own eyes that they could not stop what was meant for you. And when they see it, some of them will silently regret how they treated you. Some will envy you even more, and some may even be inspired to change because your story became undeniable proof that patience and perseverance win in the end. But in that moment, when you are elevated, remain gracious. Do not use your success to humiliate those who tried to hold you back. Do not lower yourself to their level by mocking them in return. The best way to win is to rise above bitterness and become a source of inspiration even to those who once opposed you. Show them that you were never competing with them in the first place. You were running your own race. Your haters are part of the audience of your life, but they are not the author of your story. Their words may hurt, but they cannot change what has been written for you. So instead of letting them drain your energy, let them fuel your determination. Every time someone doubts you, let it remind you that you are on a path they cannot control. Every time someone tries to block you, let it motivate you to keep going until they are forced to see you rise. Because in the end, the most powerful victory is not just reaching the top, it is reaching the top with your integrity intact, your heart clean, and your head held high while those who tried to stop you are left watching from the sidelines. Silent patience is one of the most underrated strengths a person can have. In a world where everyone wants to have the last word, to defend themselves immediately, to clap back at every insult, choosing silence feels counterintuitive. Yet silence is often the loudest response you can give. It is not weakness, it is wisdom. It takes more strength to hold your tongue than to lash out in anger. When you remain patient and refuse to be dragged into unnecessary argument, you protect your dignity, your peace, and your focus. You show that your value is too high to be reduced to petty conflicts. There are moments when you are falsely accused, when people misunderstand you, or when they deliberately misrepresent you to make you look bad. The natural instinct is to fight back, to clear your name, to prove that you are right and they are wrong. But sometimes, speaking up too soon can make things worse. When emotions are high and tensions are raw, words rarely heal. They often inflame. Silence, on the other hand, allows time to reveal the truth. It allows people to see your character through your actions rather than your arguments. This does not mean you let others walk all over you or that you tolerate injustice forever. It means you choose your battles wisely. You know when to speak and when to remain quiet. There is a time when silence is the most powerful form of protest, when it leaves your critics disarmed because they cannot provoke you. They expect you to fight back. They want you to lose control. They want to point fingers and say, see, this is who they really are. But when you refuse to take their bait, you win a victory they can never take away from you. Silent patience does something remarkable. It protects your energy. When you are constantly reacting to every rumor, every insult, every provocation, you drain yourself. You lose focus on your goals and spend your strength fighting shadows. But when you remain calm, you keep your energy where it belongs, in your growth, your work, your journey forward. And as you quietly continue to move forward, the results begin to speak for themselves. Success has a way of silencing noise. You don't have to explain yourself when your life becomes proof of what you stood for. Patience is also a sign of deep trust. It shows that you are not desperate to control every situation, that you believe justice will come, even if it takes time. Sometimes the greatest battles are not won by shouting louder, but by standing still and letting the storm pass. People may laugh at you for staying quiet. They may think you are weak or afraid. But one day they will see that you were not silent because you had no answer. You were silent because you trusted that the truth would outlast the lies. There is a quiet dignity that comes with refusing to lower yourself to the level of those who try to hurt you. Your silence protects your character. It reminds you that your worth is not defined by people's opinions, but by something far greater. And when the day comes that you are elevated, the same silence that once made people doubt you will make them admire you. They will say, they never lost their temper. They never lost their class. They just kept going. That is the kind of reputation that outlives the rumors. But silent patience is not passive. It does not mean sitting back and doing nothing while you are mistreated. It means working on yourself in silence. It means focusing on becoming stronger, wiser, and better, so that when the time for speaking does come, your voice carries weight. There is a difference between staying silent out of fear and staying silent out of strength. Fearful silence shrinks you, but patient silence builds you. It makes you resilient. When you practice silent patience, you learn that time reveals everything. People can say what they want about you, but over time, the truth becomes clear. Their words will fade, but your actions will remain. Every day you continue to walk with integrity, you are writing a story that no rumor can erase. Eventually, those who spoke against you will either be silenced by your growth or forced to watch as you rise above everything they tried to do to stop you. And when that day comes, you will be grateful that you did not waste your energy fighting meaningless battles. You will be proud that you did not lose yourself in anger or bitterness. You will see that your patience was not in vain, that it protected your heart and gave you strength to carry the blessings that were meant for you. So the next time you are tempted to respond to every insult or defend yourself against every whisper, pause. Ask yourself if it is worth your peace. Most of the time, the answer is no. Most of the time, the best thing you can do is stay calm, stay silent, and keep building. Because when the moment of truth comes, your silence will roar louder than any argument you could have made. Every struggle you face is not random, and every challenge you endure is not without meaning. Your struggles are part of a plan far bigger than you can see right now. Often, we look at our hardships as obstacles that block us from reaching success, but in reality, they are stepping stones that prepare us for it. The delays, the rejections, the betrayals, and the heartbreaks are not there to destroy you. They are there to build you into the kind of person who can handle the weight of what is coming. Think about it. If everything you wanted came easily, if every door opened the first time you knocked, you would never develop patience, perseverance, or strength. You would never know what it feels like to overcome adversity. And because of that, you would not have the depth of character needed to sustain success when it finally arrives. Struggles are the training ground where resilience is born. They stretch you, break you, and rebuild you into someone stronger than before. When you are in the middle of a painful season, it is easy to think you have been forgotten. You pray, you try, you do everything you can, and still, things don't seem to move in your favor. But what if the delay is not punishment? What if it is preparation? What if the very thing you are crying about right now is the thing that is making you ready for the blessing you have been asking for? Sometimes we are not yet equipped to handle the opportunities we dream about. The struggle comes to shape us, to teach us lessons, to refine our intentions. There are lessons you can only learn through hardship. Patience cannot be learned in ease. Compassion cannot grow without pain. Gratitude becomes deeper when you have experienced loss. Wisdom is born from mistakes, and strength is forged in fire. Every challenge you have survived has taught you something, even if you didn't see it at the time. Each heartbreak taught you how to set better boundaries. Each rejection redirected you towards something better. Each failure taught you what not to do next time. Together, these lessons form the foundation on which your future success will stand. And it is important to remember that your struggles are not just about you. They are also about the people who will one day be inspired by your story. When you come out on the other side of your pain, you will have the ability to say to someone else, "And I know what it feels like, and I know you can survive this too." Your scars will become someone else's hope. Your testimony will be proof that struggles do not last forever, but the strength they create does. There is also something powerful about the timing of struggle. Sometimes we think we are ready for certain opportunities, but we are not. If we receive them too early, we might misuse them, waste them, or lose them. The struggle ensures that by the time we receive what we have been praying for, we will value it. We will treat it with care because we know what it costs us to get there. Easy victories rarely produce gratitude, but victories that are hard-won are cherished forever. Even betrayal and pain have a place in this plan. The people who hurt you, the ones who left you when you needed them most, they too played a role in shaping you. They taught you how to rely less on others and more on inner strength. They forced you to stand on your own 2 feet. And while it was painful, it pushed you toward growth that you might never have chosen voluntarily. This is why you must stop seeing your struggles as signs that you are failing. They are signs that you are being prepared for something greater. Every time you survive what was meant to break you, you level up. Every time you keep going when quitting would have been easier, you become stronger. You are being equipped with endurance, wisdom, and courage that will carry you into the next stage of your life. When the elevation finally comes, you will look back on your struggles and understand why they were necessary. You will see that without those sleepless nights, without those tears, without those painful endings, you would not have been ready for what you are walking into. The struggle was not a detour. It was the road. It was not delaying your destiny. It was delivering you to it. So do not curse the process. Do not resent the lessons. Keep going even when it feels unfair. Keep trusting. Even when you don't see the results yet. One day what feels like chaos will make sense. One day you will look back and be grateful that some doors stayed closed, that some people walked away, and that some dreams were delayed, because all of it pushed you closer to the destiny written for you. Elevation is not just about being given a higher position, more recognition, or greater success. It is about being transformed into the kind of person who can handle that elevation with grace. Before you can rise on the outside, you must first rise on the inside. Inner purification is the foundation of lasting elevation. If your heart is not ready, if your intentions are not pure, and if your character is not strong, then the very blessing you are seeking can become a burden. The process of being elevated often begins with a deep internal cleansing. Letting go of grudges, forgiving those who hurt you, purifying your motives, and realigning your focus. It is easy to want to be elevated so that you can prove people wrong, silence your haters, or show the world how capable you are. But when your elevation is rooted in revenge, pride, or ego, it will not bring you peace. True elevation is never about competing with others or seeking validation from them. It is about fulfilling your purpose and using your position for good. That is why the path to elevation often includes tests that strip you of your arrogance and confront you with your weaknesses. You are forced to deal with your anger, your envy, and your need for control. It can be painful, because purification is rarely comfortable, but it is necessary. Letting go of grudges is one of the hardest parts of inner purification, yet it is also one of the most important. You cannot rise while carrying bitterness in your heart. Resentment is heavy and it will hold you down. You may think holding on to anger gives you power, but it actually keeps you stuck in the past. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was okay. And it does not mean the person who hurt you should have a place back in your life. It simply means you are choosing not to let their actions control your future. Forgiveness is freedom, and that freedom makes space for elevation. Purifying your intentions is just as crucial. Ask yourself why you want to rise. Is it to inspire others, to serve, to make a difference? Or is it just to be seen, to be applauded, to be envied? If your goal is only recognition, you will never be satisfied, because no amount of applause can fill a heart that is empty. But if your goal is to fulfill your purpose, then even small victories will feel meaningful. Elevation that is given to a pure heart brings peace, because you are no longer chasing status for the sake of status. You are simply walking in alignment with what was meant for you. Character growth is another part of purification. You cannot rise if you cannot handle responsibility. The higher you go, the greater the pressure becomes. There will be more eyes watching you, more voices criticizing you, and more challenges to your integrity. If your character is weak, that pressure will crush you. But if you have been through the process of inner purification, if you have learned patience, humility, and self-control, then no amount of pressure will break you. Instead, it will refine you further. Inner purification also teaches you to let go of comparison. When you are focused on your own growth, you stop obsessing over who is ahead of you, who is getting more attention, or who seems to be rising faster. You realize that everyone's journey is different and what is meant for you cannot pass you by. This mindset frees you from jealousy and allows you to genuinely celebrate the success of others. And when you do that, you attract even more goodness into your life. The process of inner purification can feel like a season of isolation. You may lose certain people, certain habits, even certain opportunities. It can feel as if everything is being stripped away, but in reality, you are being prepared for something greater. You cannot take everyone and everything with you to the next level. Some friendships, some habits, and even some versions of yourself are not meant to survive the journey. The person you are becoming is lighter, freer, and more focused because elevation requires you to rise above what once held you back. When you have gone through this purification, your elevation will not just be about you. You will carry it with humility. You will use your new position or opportunity to lift others, to encourage them, to remind them that they too can rise. You will no longer need to boast or prove yourself because your actions will speak louder than words. Your heart will be at peace because you know you were elevated for the right reasons. And perhaps most importantly, inner purification protects your blessing. When you rise with a clean heart, you are less likely to misuse your position or lose yourself in pride. You remain grounded, grateful, and aware that the same force that raised you up can also bring you down if you lose your way. Humility keeps you safe, gratitude keeps you strong, and sincerity keeps you moving forward. So do not resist the process of purification. Even when it feels painful, embrace it. Let go of what you need to let go of, forgive who you need to forgive, and work on becoming the person who is ready for the blessing you are asking for. Because when your inner world is aligned, your outer elevation will not just take you higher, it will keep you there. When the moment of elevation finally comes, it is tempting to think that it is your chance to shine, your chance to prove everyone wrong, your chance to stand tall and remind the world of how far you have come. But true elevation is not about showing off or using your success as a weapon against others. It is about gratitude, humility, and responsibility. When you rise, you must remember that it is not simply a reward. It is a trust placed upon you. The way you handle your elevation will determine whether it continues to grow or whether it slips away. Many people lose themselves after being elevated. They forget the pain of their past. They forget the struggles that once humbled them. And they begin to walk with arrogance as though they raised themselves. This pride is dangerous because the same way you are lifted up, you can be brought back down. Elevation is not permanent if you allow pride to poison it. That is why celebrating the rise with humility is essential. It keeps you grounded, reminding you that success is not just about your effort, but also about the unseen help, the doors that were opened for you, the strength that carried you when you felt too weak to keep going. When you are elevated, resist the temptation to look down on others who are still struggling. Remember the nights you cried, the days you prayed for a breakthrough, the times you almost gave up. Those who are still in that season deserve your compassion, not your judgment. Elevation is not given to you so that you can stand above others. It is given so you can lift others with you. Your success should inspire hope, not create division. If people look at your rise and feel small, then you have missed the point. But if people look at your rise and feel inspired, then you have honored the blessing. It is also important to celebrate without losing your balance. Enjoy your success, yes. Appreciate the recognition, yes. But do not let it define your worth. You were valuable even before anyone noticed you. Your rise is a chapter in your story, not the entire story itself. If your identity becomes tied only to your elevated status, then the moment challenges come, you will feel empty again. Humility teaches you to enjoy success while remembering that it does not make you more human than anyone else. It simply gives you more responsibility. True celebration of elevation also means using it wisely. If you are given influence, use it to spread goodness. If you are given wealth, use it to support and uplift. If you are given recognition, use it to highlight what truly matters. Your rise is not just about you. It is an opportunity to make a difference beyond yourself. This is how blessings multiply when they are shared. Selfish success is fragile, but success that uplifts others continues to grow. Another danger of elevation is the subtle pride that creeps in, not in loud arrogance, but in quiet comparisons. You may begin to measure yourself against those still struggling, thinking you are better because you have reached a level they have not. But true greatness is never about being better than. It is about being the best version of yourself. Someone else's slower journey does not make them less worthy. They may rise tomorrow in a way that surpasses you, and you must be willing to celebrate them just as you hope they celebrated you. Humility keeps you safe from jealousy when others rise and keeps you safe from arrogance when you rise. When you are elevated, remember to give credit where it is due. Gratitude protects the heart from pride. A grateful person knows that every opportunity, every success, every moment of recognition is not just the result of their hard work, but also the unseen forces that align for them. Gratitude turns your elevation into worship, into acknowledgement that you did not walk alone on your journey. And the more grateful you are, the more your blessings continue to flow. At the same time, celebrating your rise does not mean you hide it or feel guilty about it. Humility is not pretending you are less than you are. It is acknowledging your success with grace. It is saying, yes, I am grateful for this position, but I know it comes with responsibility. Walk tall, but not arrogantly. Celebrate boldly, but not boastfully. Share your story, but not in a way that diminishes others. That balance is what turns success into legacy. In the end, your elevation will be remembered not just for how high you went, but for how you carried yourself when you got there. Did you remain humble? Did you remain grateful? Did you use your platform to inspire and uplift? Or did you let pride and ego make you forget the journey that brought you there? The true test of elevation is not reaching the top, it is staying there with honor. So when your time comes, celebrate fully. Smile, rejoice, and acknowledge how far you've come. But let your celebration be rooted in humility and gratitude. Let it remind you not of your superiority, but of your responsibility. Because when you rise without pride, your success will not only inspire those around you, it will also be preserved, multiplied, and protected for as long as you continue to honor it.